Fortnite's Simpsons season is very confusing to me. Now, originally, the title of this video was going to be Fortnite's Simpsons season seems weird, which is a format I've done before. But to be honest, the more and more that I looked into this and thought about it, the more like confused that I got. So I ended up last second actually changing the title of this video. But if you guys haven't heard, apparently the Simpsons are going to be joining Fortnite, and not just in a way like they'll be in the item shop like cosmetics. They could be joining Fortnite in the sense of taking over the gameplay, and that leak kind of came out of nowhere where we were going to have this entire mini season based around the Simpsons and Springfield. And it's weird even compared to Marvel or Star Wars. It's really confusing, very niche, and people, not just me, are legitimately confused by this, and the response has been mixed at best. Like I said, leakers are saying that it's a mini season with its own Springfield map and weekly map updates over 4 weeks, but it's unclear where exactly it's going to fit. A lot of people thought originally it was going to be Battle Royale, maybe now it could be Reload, or maybe it's something else entirely. It's going to work a lot similarly to Galactic Battle that we just had, as well as Remix and a Fortnite OG, where it will be just a month-long season with updates every week. What's really interesting about this is that, like I said, it's going to be a 4-week mini season. It's going to have its own lobby, but the map sizes is going to be Reload sized, and it's going to only have 40 players on it, plus its own individual boons is the only information that we have about actual gameplay stuff. Now, at first, I thought this was really weird. I thought Fortnite was taking a really weird step into kind of making Battle Royale almost the same as Reload. Like, why would they do that and not just put it inside of Reload? But this is way more content than your average skin drop, but shorter lived than a normal season. It raises questions like, where are these mini seasons supposed to live in, like, the landscape of Fortnite, I guess? Who exactly would this be for, and what is the ultimate goal with this? Now, post-Galactic Battle, I don't know about you guys, I feel like I expected at least a lot of big standalone seasons, not like a random like Simpsons mini season coming a little bit down the line. A lot of people are wondering, why exactly right now in Chapter 6 do we have to have another mini season, and why now? You know, a lot of comments about this are split between people just being like, okay, I'm interested to see what happens, and complete outright confusion. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. I'm willing to see what happens, but I'm also very confused as to why this is happening. This collab, one thing that I think is really confusing about it is that Fortnite has consistently collaborated with, in terms of actually having big gameplay changes, with stuff that has a lot of brand power. So, you know, we've had Star Wars take over the map. We've had Marvel take over the map twice now. We know how their relationship is with Disney, and that's not going away. But this collab with the Simpsons just doesn't really have as much brand power as, you know, obviously Star Wars or Marvel or something like that. Honestly, I feel like it'd make a lot more sense if they just made a whole like cartoon themed season, or like adult cartoon themed season. I think that would be really popular if they added in, you know, more Family Guy skins. You know, they added in maybe American Dad or something. We just had, you know, Bob's Burgers and the Cleveland Show in here. This just isn't going to hit the same. And if a lot of you thought, including myself, that the Star Wars season was, you know, bad in terms of people not being very interested or engaged with it, I think the Simpsons may be a new low if Fortnite decides to go with the entirety of Battle Royale being around the Simpsons, especially thinking how like the Simpsons has been around for a long time, and I don't think it's nearly as prevalent with the generation of people that are playing Fortnite. Of course, Family Guy was popular, but the Simpsons is kind of like an older thing, and you know, as Family Guy says, to me it's really not that funny anymore. So I'm not really sure who exactly this is targeting, and it doesn't feel like it's the right fit for Fortnite's audience. But one thing I want to bring up, like I said before, is that the leaks specify that it is a Reload sized map. As you guys know, Springfield is just like one town. It's like a city, so that's going to be pretty small. It's Reload size, so maybe this won't even touch the Battle Royale main game. That would make sense. You know, maybe it's a mini BR, or maybe it's an LTM collab, which would explain the hype breakdown. And right now, with us, you know, just having this Squid Grounds new Reload Squid Game themed Reload map, it seems like they're trying to incorporate more collabs into the actual gameplay of other modes rather than just putting them all into Battle Royale. And honestly, I feel like if we are going to have this big collab, then we're probably going to see it in Reload. I mean, it makes the most sense. Reload sized map, 40 player lobbies, that just makes the most sense. I really don't see them completely changing the entirety of Battle Royale to 40 player people. I don't really understand why they would do that when we already have Reload, which is the exact same thing, just would be Fortnite original at this point. But calling it a season when it's not hitting main BR is really head scratching. And of course, Fortnite hasn't said anything themselves. They haven't came out and said, you know, Simpsons is coming to Fortnite or anything. This is all just insider information from a source. I don't even know who it came from. It came from a bunch of different people on a leaked document, but it is proved to be pretty reputable. But that raises a big question about, you know, what actually is going to come after next season. We know next season after Super on August 7th, we're getting a brand new season that is supposedly going to be bug or some type of invasion themed, whether it's bugs or, you know, another alien invasion or something like that. That remains to be seen, but we do presume that it's going to be invasion themed based on the leaks that we saw, including the Simpsons one. That makes me wonder what exactly is going to be the last like season of chapter 6, because this mini season is supposedly going to be the last thing in chapter 6, and then there's a chapter ending event, and then we go into chapter 7. So who knows what it might be? You know, maybe they've scrapped the idea, maybe something else will come out, who knows. If Springfield, you know, or Simpsons gets a map and a 40-player LTM or in Reload, I'm all for it. I think that's really cool. But if Epic's calling it a full season across, you know, all of Battle Royale, that could be a bit too niche in my opinion. We'll see, but mark me skeptical. We'll have to wait and see, but just know that I am a bit skeptical about this. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Are you guys excited? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know. Drop a like on today's video if you did enjoy. You watched all the way to the end. You must have enjoyed, so drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. I make videos like these every single day. Use code PROZEROYT, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.